Club was Fight Club philosophy and how it can transform your life. How you can use the philosophy that Tyler Durden created, or the author of the book created, and Tyler Durden spoke about in the film, to change your life, to live a more exciting, spontaneous, happier, and probably more successful life by following a few key principles. Now, I'm not someone who actually believes that you can live your life by a philosophy. I'm more of the belief that you sort of dip in and out of philosophies. I know there are some people who are big fans of Stoicism, but I think if you just follow the tenets of one particular philosophy, then you almost limit yourself. You need to be able to dip in and out. And I certainly do believe that Fight Club presents a certain philosophy through Tyler Durden. I'm going to discuss those different points now. And if you apply these points, I guarantee that you will be able to improve or change your life in some way. You'll certainly be living a more exciting, adventurous life. And if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, or about Fight Club philosophy, or philosophies in general, if there's a philosophy that works well for you, then please do share it while I'm speaking. If it comes up now, I will answer. If you're watching this video later on playback, then by all means still leave your question, put your comment, and I will try to answer that as well later on. So let's talk about the four key areas, or the four key philosophies I discussed in my talk on Tuesday night. And there might be one or two more themes you could pull from the film, but I sort of focused on these four as I thought they made the backbone of Tyler Durden's philosophy. The first one was, do whatever it takes to feel alive. I think many people misunderstood, well, many of the critics misunderstood Fight Club. They said it glorified violence, that it promoted fascism, and it was misogynistic. I thought that they totally missed the point. I thought the only point of the fighting was a vehicle for feeling alive. You had Jack, the main character, or one of the two main characters in the films, who was totally disillusioned and disconnected with life. He worked a job he didn't enjoy. He was an insomniac, and he was looking for a way out. And he didn't realize that he'd gone so far down this hole into being disconnected from life, that the only thing that could make him feel alive and bring him back to life was having fights on the weekend with other men. And that was really, to me, the point of the actual fighting in the film, was to show that, hey, look at society. As Tyler talked about, we have no great spiritual war. We have no great depression. Our great depression is our lives. That's what he said. And that's so true for so many people, with depression rates being through the roof now, and increasing as the years and decades pass. So what is the antidote? And I think Tyler presents it in the first part of Fight Club philosophy, which is do whatever it takes to feel alive. And that's all I think the fighting was. It could be martial arts. It could be some other kind of sport. It could be doing something to help other people out. Anything which makes you feel alive. And try to do that as much as possible. Now, a big block on that is the need to make money. You know, that our need to feel alive is, in a lot of cases, in conflict with the need to make money. That is, if you make money through one of the system's typical paths. Of course, it is possible to make money in a way that you enjoy doing, and if you can do that, then you're going a long way to living a happy and successful life. Okay, so the second part of the philosophy that I talked about on the night was let go of the need to control. It's often the case when you try to control your life, that you end up receiving the reverse of what you intended. I remember when I went through a phase of having insomnia as well. And when I'd wake up in the night, I would lie there and try to force myself back to sleep. I'd be thinking thoughts, come on, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. You can see now in my fists, in my face, perhaps just then, the tension, because I'm trying to force the thing to happen. I'm trying to control it. And there were so many areas in which I was trying to control my life, and so many areas where I see people trying to control their lives, and it usually ends up backfiring. Tyler's advice was, his direct quote was, I say never be complete. I say stop trying to be perfect. I say let's evolve and let the chips fall where they may. You know, you don't have to micromanage every tiny little area of your life and worry about every small little detail. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Let go of that need to control. I often, I get caught up in my head sometimes about when I'm going to write a title for a blog post, which words will make it more, will get it out, which words will make it more enticing for people to read. And, I'm just changing one or two words. And in the end, it really doesn't make much difference at all. You can't control all of these outcomes. You just got to keep moving forwards and learning from your experiences. Okay, part 3 of the philosophy was actually part 4 was reject consumerism. Yeah, part 3 was stop caring about what other people think. And Tyler's quote here was, it's only when you've lost everything that you're free to do anything. And in the film, he keeps telling Jack to hit bottom. He keeps telling him that the way to enlightenment, the path to a happy life is hitting bottom. And what does he mean by that? What does he mean by it's only once you've lost everything, you're free to do anything? I don't believe he meant you've lost your house, or you've lost all your money, or you've lost all your friends. I don't think that's what he was implying when he was saying that. I think he was more referring to when you've lost your image, your self-image, your reputation, that thing which the system tells us to cling to so desperately. How other people see us. When you lose that, when you lose all regard for that, then you are truly free to do anything. And I think it's ironic, actually, that we're always being taught, the message from society is make yourself acceptable to others. That's how you fit in. That's how you get the job. That's how you find the boyfriend or girlfriend. You don't want to be a weirdo. If you end up a weirdo or a loner, or you try to go off and try to launch a new business and it fails, then it's going to look bad, and you don't want to look bad, because then you are separating yourself from other people. But actually, I think it's ironic if you look a bit deeper into who our societies worship in terms of celebrities and people like that. They are the ones who aren't afraid to be themselves in many cases. They are the ones with the brash personalities. A great example I use in my book, Escape the System, is Muhammad Ali. He was not afraid to be himself. And he was hated at first for this when he first emerged on the world scene with his boxing. But he ended up being universally loved. And I think a big part of this was because he wasn't afraid to be himself. Okay, so the final part of Fight Club philosophy that I discussed on the night was reject consumerism. Now, there's a scene in the film where Jack and Tyler are having a few beers at the bar. Now, this is just after Tyler's place Jack's condo has been blown up. And he talks to Tyler about how, oh man, my furniture collection was almost complete. He had all these clothes and consumer goods that he'd been buying to try to make some kind of meaning for his life, or make use of the money he'd been earning at his job to at least say, at least I've got something for what I'm doing. May hate my job, but at least look at my furniture collection. And then it was all gone because it got blown up, and he was mourning the loss of this. And Tyler just says to him, look, the things you own end up owning you. And that's such a great point to make, because what do we have to do in order to buy all of these consumer items? We have to work longer, we have to work harder, and all of that time we're spending perhaps doing a job that we don't enjoy. Maybe we could cut down on our work and actually dedicate more time to doing things that we do enjoy, doing things that make us feel alive, or even better than that, working on your own dreams, so that one day you may be able to make all of your money in a way in which you enjoy, and you can ditch your old job. So our time is a precious commodity. And if we're wasting it, and I'm saying wasting it, by just pursuing making money, which ultimately once we paid the basics for our survival, which in the Western world we should pretty much be able to cover with our jobs, then what are we doing with that extra money? If we are buying things we want rather than things we need, then we could actually take a radical reevaluation of our life and perhaps cut down on the amount of time we spend working or earning money, and invest that time in another way. That's why reject consumerism was another important part of Fight Club philosophy.